At the beginning of the movie, a boy named Raka is traveling on a bus, sketching in his notebook. Suddenly, his bracelet tightens and a heavy pressure grips his neck. A girl's ghost appears behind him. At that moment, two of his classmates enter the bus and start bullying him, but a woman intervenes and encourages him to stand up for himself. Moments later, the bracelet tightens again, and the ghost reappears. We then see Raka in his room, sketching, when he suddenly feels the strain in his neck again. As he drinks water, blood drips onto his bottle from the ceiling. He drops it in shock and sees a ghost on his shoulder. Suddenly, the girl's ghost appears, pleading, "Help me." Then a crime scene is shown where the girl's body is discovered, the same girl whose ghost had been pleading for help. The scene cuts to Sonia's birthday party. One of her friends, Vanessa, announces that she's leaving. As she reaches the parking area, she checks the photos on her phone. Suddenly, she sees a masked girl standing in front of her. Startled, she stumbles backward and is hit by a car. Meanwhile, Sonia spots the same masked girl in a party photo. Shocked, she looks again, but the figure is gone. The next shot reveals Vanessa's lifeless body in the parking area. Raka suddenly jolts awake and receives a voice message from the boys who bully him. Disturbed, he calls his uncle Ajat to say he's returning to his hometown Bogore. We then see him on a bus heading back. Suddenly, his bracelet tightens, and he notices an old woman. Raka asks, "Who do you seek revenge on?" But it turns out the old woman is just looking for her hair clip. She's not a ghost. At that moment, a girl nearby laughs at him. Raka looks at her and instantly feels a connection. When the bus reaches its stop, he sees her getting off and quickly follows, shielding her from the rain with his umbrella. They head to a nearby food stall. Raka asks her to turn around so he can change his clothes, explaining that the changing room is too far. She obliges, and he quickly changes clothes. They share a light conversation, and soon the stall owner brings out the order. Raka asks, "Just one? What about my friend?" The owner says, "You came here alone." Raka freezes, slowly realizing the girl was never real. She's a ghost. Raka arrives home, greeted warmly by his uncle Ajat, who is a writer focused on the supernatural. Raka asks him if he still practices shamanism. Ajat says, "No, I don't want to be a sinner. People use mediums for love or harm and assume all are evil." Raka then asks if he still sees ghosts. Ajat replies, "Yes, it's your grandfather's legacy, one passed down each generation. Your mother tried hard to break it, even moved to Jakarta, but it never left." He asks, "Are you sure about school here?" "Ghosts are everywhere." Raka replies, "Jakarta never felt right." Ajat then advises him to ignore the ghosts and pretend he doesn't see them. It is then revealed that Raka's parents died in a road accident. The next day, while hurrying to school, Raka encounters 3 schoolboys. The school gate is about to close, but the security guard Dudung lets him in. As he enters the school, his bracelet tightens, and the friendly ghost girl he met on the bus appears again. Following Ajat's advice, he starts ignoring her and walks away. In the washroom, Sonia sobs over Vanessa's death. Erlin tries to comfort her, but Sonia splashes water on her and lashes out. Hurt, Erlin walks away. Later, Miss Tara introduces Raka to the class and seats him next to Sonia. She objects, saying it's Vanessa's seat, but Miss Tara insists. As Raka sits, Sonia warns him to move after class, claiming Vanessa wouldn't approve. A boy named Dodit then kicks Raka's chair. Just then, Raka's bracelet tightens, and the masked ghost girl appears. Compelled, Raka sketches her, but she vanishes, only to reappear suddenly. Dodit hits Raka again, accusing him of staring at his girlfriend. Sonia sees the sketch and shrieks in shock. Later, the friendly ghost girl appears again, trying to talk to Raka, but he ignores her and walks away. Meanwhile, Lisbeth tells Sonia that her dog Bruno has gone missing. After the call, Lisbeth looks at Bruno's photo. Just then, a figure is seen behind the window. Suddenly, she hears Bruno barking frantically and rushes outside to search for him. While looking, she hears him whimpering and discovers his collar. Blood drips from above, and a polythene bag bursts, drenching her. Horrified, she turns to see the masked girl. Lisbeth stumbles backward, panicking, and swings a garden tool wildly through the air until someone drags her away and kills her brutally. The next morning, Raka notices Lisbeth's parents at school. Miss Tara asks him to send Sonia over. Meanwhile, Sonia is growing anxious, suspecting Lisbeth's disappearance is connected to the masked girl. Dodit dismisses her worry. Just then, Raka arrives and informs Sonia that Miss Tara wants to see her. As she leaves, Dodit and his friends begin bullying Raka. They take his diary, find a sketch of the masked girl, tear out the page, roll it up, and try to force it into his mouth, but Raka manages to escape. He is later seen vomiting, and the friendly ghost girl appears again. Raka asks her what she wants, saying every ghost that approaches him has some kind of motive. She replies that she has none. She just wants to talk. Ghosts get lonely too, and he's the only one who can see her. She adds that she doesn't even remember her name. Sonia notices Raka talking to thin air and asks who he's speaking to. She then asks if he saw the masked girl in class. Raka nods. Dodit arrives and bullies Raka again. Sonia says he claimed to see the masked girl. When Dodit asks, Raka denies it, shocked. Sonia watches as Dodit shoves him to the ground and Raka runs off. The friendly ghost visits Raka again and asks why he didn't do anything. Raka snaps, saying she's just a ghost. She doesn't have emotions or the need to fit in at school, and pleads with her to stop following him. She continues to follow, and he yells at her to stop before walking away. Later, Raka sees Ajat practicing shamanism. Ajat asks, "Did the pretty ghost appear again?" Raka replies, "Yes, but I scolded her and she disappeared." Meanwhile, Nino is playing a computer game when a door behind him suddenly shuts on its own. Confused, he gets up to check but finds nothing. He returns to his game, but the lights suddenly go out. On his screen, he sees masked girl appear and suddenly she haunts him. Just then, someone covers his face with a plastic sheet, then brutally slams his head against the table, killing him and takes him away. In class, Sonia and Nara are seen talking about how Nino hasn't been responding to their calls or messages. Meanwhile, Raka is shown looking worried as he searches for the friendly girl ghost, but she doesn't appear. Suddenly, his bracelet tightens, and he's drawn toward an old building. Dudung steps out and tells him that the area is restricted, asking him to leave. Raka then begins searching the buses. Once again, his bracelet tightens, and this time, he spots the girl inside one of the buses. He approaches her, but she vanishes. He says, "I know I'm a coward, but I need you as a friend." The girl reappears and replies, "You're not a coward." Raka then apologizes. Later, he confides in her. "I feel pity for all the ghosts who have asked for my help. That's why I never refuse their requests." The girl says, "I wish I knew who I was, why I'm still here. Is there someone out there who misses me?" Raka replies, "I do." The scene then cuts to Sonia, telling everyone that their friends are going missing one by one. She says, "This is strange." Dodit asks Nara if Nino recorded his gameplay for YouTube content. Nara replies, "He usually does." They start reviewing the footage and are shocked to see that he encountered a masked ghost. Meanwhile, Ajat's bracelet tightens and Raka enters the house with the ghost girl. He tells him, "She won't leave me now." We then see Raka and the girl enjoying each other's company, growing closer over time. He shows her a sketch he made of her and name her Windy. When she asks why, he replies, "Because you remind me of the wind." She then thanks him for giving her a name. The next day, the teacher hands out graded sheets. Erlen tops the class and Sonia grows jealous. Later, she slaps Erlen. Raka steps in, but Dodit moves to attack him. Raka says, "Stop hurting Erlen." Dodit smirks, "I will, but first kiss my shoes," and forces Raka to do it. Humiliated, Raka walks away. Frustrated, he sits alone until Windy appears. She says, "You did the right thing." Raka mutters, "What's the point if no one cares?" Windy replies, "Because you're a good person. I'm proud of you." At night, Romy sneaks into the school to steal the exam questions. Meanwhile, Dudung patrols the school. Hearing a noise from the lab, he checks inside but finds nothing, locks the door, and walks away. Romy escapes through the window, finds the question paper, and sends photos to Sonia. Sonia receives them as Dodit opens his car trunk, where Erlen sits inside, terrified. Sonia shows her the questions and forces her to write the answers. To avoid Dudung, Romy hides in the washroom. There, he hears the flush, the lights flicker, and suddenly Nino's voice pleads for help. Romy cautiously searches and spots Lisbeth, drenched in blood, asking for help. As she approaches, she transforms into the masked ghost and attacks. Blood starts pouring from the taps. Romy finds the door locked and calls Sonia, crying, "Help me!" Nino is dead. A reply comes from the phone. "This is me, Deanie." Romy freezes in fear, then someone drags him away. Moments later, Romy is found dead, slumped over a toilet seat. The next day during the exam, Dodit whispers to Sonia that that Romy is missing. As the test begins, the group starts cheating. Suddenly, Raka's bracelet tightens, and his pencil begins scribbling wildly on its own. He grabs it only to see the masked ghost holding it. She lunges at him with scissors, then vanishes, leaving Raka in shock. Later, Raka shows Windy a sketch of the masked ghost and asks if she's seen it around school. Windy denies it. Upset, she rips the page, crumples it, and stomps on it, saying, "I don't want any ghost bothering you." Raka smiles at her reaction. Meanwhile, Ajat is seen researching a case about a student named Deanie who died in an accident in Bogore. He asks Raka if he knows a girl named Deanie at their school. Raka says no. The next day, he asks Erlin if she knows Deanie. Erlin initially ignores him, then nods. When Raka asks if she has a picture of her, Erlin says no, but mentions that Deanie's photo is in the school magazine. She had won a dance festival. The magazine, titled Pelajar, from last year and available in the library. Raka goes to the library and starts searching for the magazine. Eventually, he finds Deanie's photo. Just then, his bracelet tightens, the lights flicker, and books begin falling off the shelves. He spots the masked ghost in the distance. She raises her hand, throws scissors at him, and flies toward him. As Raka defends himself, the ghost's hand begins to burn with his bracelet. Her face is revealed. It's Windy. She screams, and in an instant, everything returns to normal. Raka is left confused and shaken. Later, Raka confronts Windy, accusing her of being the masked ghost. Windy is stunned. Raka reveals that her real name is Deanie. We flash back to a moment when Dudung is knocking on Deanie's door, asking her to open it. She pleads with him to leave her alone. Dudung insists he'll report the problem to the school. Deanie, wearing a mask, opens the door and says, "Don't worry, Dad. I'll solve this myself," and goes back inside. We then see Deanie being bullied by Sonia and her group. Ditto asks if she plans to report them and warns her that causing trouble would lead to consequences for both her and her father, who works as a security guard. Deanie, crying, nods. Just then, Dudung arrives, and Deanie runs off in tears. That night, Deanie is seen running away from home. Sitting at a bus stop, Dudung finds her. She runs from him, narrowly avoiding an accident, but as she turns, she's hit by a bus. Dudung screams in horror. Back in the present, Deanie says, "I didn't know I was the masked ghost." Raka, angry, replies, "Now you do. Don't come near me again," and walks away. Later, Deanie appears before Raka again. He says, "From now on, the masked ghost is gone. I'll take care of your revenge on Sonia and Dodit," and leaves. Raka then confronts Dodit and attacks him. Dodit fights back. Raka accuses him. "I know you killed Deanie." Dodit punches him, and Sonia takes him away. Deanie tries to talk to Raka, but he ignores her. Ajat later tells Raka that Deanie might not be aware of what the masked ghost is doing. He explains the concept of a two-faced demon, a being born from overwhelming pain and resentment. The original personality can't handle the suffering, so a new, darker personality emerges, one that seeks revenge. Meanwhile, Sonia is at a club, lost in thought. A flashback shows Deanie standing up for Erlin, telling Sonia to stop bullying her. Sonia grabs Deanie by the neck and slaps her. The group beats Deanie. Dodit forces a crumpled paper into her mouth, which Deanie spits back at him. Sonia burns Deanie's chin with a lighter. Then they cut her hair, apply ridiculous makeup on her face, and force her to wear a mask. Sonia declares, "From today, you'll wear this in class." They all mock her. Back in the present, Dodit is washing his face when he hears a noise. As the washroom door opens, Dodit attacks the figure only to realize it's Dudung. Dudung flees. Dodit tells Sonia that it's Dudung, not the masked ghost, who attacked him and likely locked up their friends. Sonia insists that Raka's sketch showed a masked girl. Dodit says he saw it with his own eyes. It's Dudung. Meanwhile, Ajat tells Raka that the evil personality in a two-faced demon will eventually dominate. Deanie's spirit may soon be completely taken over. Raka asks, "Who summoned Deanie's spirit?" Ajat replies, "Someone who dearly missed her." Raka realizes it's Dudung. Ajat confirms. Dudung visited him recently and admitted to using black magic to summon his daughter's spirit, only to see her again, not to hurt anyone. Raka asks, "Then the evil spirit came along?" Ajat nods. "It's the one making Deanie forget who she is." Raka says, "Maybe that's why she came to me, to stop the masked ghost." Just then, a box falls off the table and a notebook opens, revealing a girl's portrait. Raka picks it up and leaves for the school. Cut to Miss Tara at school. A door slams shut behind her. As she investigates, the lights flicker. She's suddenly dragged down, and we hear her screams. She is then seen with scissors stabbed into her neck. She pulls them out, begs for help, then collapses, and we see someone taking her phone. Meanwhile, Dodit and Sonya arrive at Dudung's house and smell something foul. Sonya urges him to leave, but he refuses. Strange things begin happening. The door slams shut. As they panic, another door begins rattling. Dodit challenges Dudung to come out. Suddenly, Dudung attacks Dodit. Sonya notices Romy's dead body and screams in terror. Dudung bludgeons Dodit with a wrench until he dies. He then turns to Sonya and transforms into Deanie. Sonya starts apologizing, but Deanie strikes her head brutally. Then Raka arrives at Dudung's house, and immediately his bracelet tightens. At the same time, Ajat discovers how a two-faced demon can be defeated. Raka enters the house and is horrified to find the dead bodies of all the missing students. His bracelet tightens again as he notices a door ahead. He slowly approaches and opens it, revealing Deanie's dead body surrounded by a black magic ritual setup. He removes her mask and sees a class group photo in her hands. Meanwhile, Ajat draws a ritual dagger and begins chanting an incantation. The dagger starts glowing and heating up with power. Back at the school, the students gather at the basketball court after receiving a text from Miss Tara. Suddenly, Raka bursts in, yelling for everyone to evacuate, but the doors begin locking one by one before anyone can move. Only Nara manages to escape. As she runs, she comes face to face with Dudung. She changes direction but collides with him. He grabs her neck, and Nara sees Deanie's face in his. Deanie stabs her eyes with scissors. Nara cries in agony and begs for forgiveness, but Deanie kills her. The lights in the court go out. The remaining students huddle in fear. A basketball rolls toward them. Moments later, multiple basketballs start flying their way, terrifying them. Suddenly, someone begins spraying gasoline all around them. When the lights return, they see Dudung, who transforms into Deanie, approaching them with a gasoline can. She flicks a lighter, screams, "You all deserve to die," and throws it toward them. But Raka catches it just in time. Enraged, Deanie charges at them with scissors, but Raka fights her. His bracelet glows, and a powerful energy causes Deanie and Dudung to separate. Raka pleads, "I know you wouldn't hurt your friends. You have a kind heart." She attempts to attack again, but Raka shows her a notebook. In a flashback, we see Raka and Deanie as childhood best friends. When some boys bullied Raka, Deanie defended him by biting one of them. Raka gives her the notebook saying, "I haven't finished your portrait yet." She smiled and said, "Finish it first, then return it to me." Back in the present, Raka says, "I should have recognized you. Look, your portrait is finished." Deanie takes the notebook as Raka gently removes her mask. He continues, "Don't let the demon control you. As long as you don't hold on to hatred, it can't overpower you." Erlen then apologizes to Deanie. One by one, all the students join in. The doors unlock, and everyone escapes safely. Raka hugs Deanie and places his bracelet on her wrist. Deanie starts to tremble. Raka urges, "This bracelet will protect you from the demon. Fight it. Don't give up." Suddenly, Deanie collapses, and suddenly, the demon attacks Raka from behind. It growls, "I'll take your life instead. You brought out me." At that moment, Ajat bursts in, chanting prayers. He throws the glowing dagger to Raka. Raka catches it and strikes the demon, and after a while, the demon vanishes in a flash of light, and Raka collapses. Deanie says, "You shouldn't have sacrificed yourself." Raka replies, "I'm okay. You need to go back now to where you belong." We see a montage of the memories they shared throughout. Back in the present, Deanie puts the bracelet back on Raka's wrist and says goodbye to Dudung. Her spirit fades into the air. Dudung breaks down, weeping for his daughter. In the final scene, Raka visits Deanie's grave. He places both completed portraits by her tombstone and says goodbye. As he walks away, the screen fades to black. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the chills, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Until next time, stay spooky.